Thanks for joining us on Valley News Live as we take a look at the Devil's Lake Basin, where they've been digging out of some serious snowfall out toward Grand Forks as well. Here along the I-94 corridor, a lot lower amounts as we're in the Southern Valley. But as we go through the next day or so, we are expecting that to change just a little bit. We'll see some of our first flakes in the southern counties, wind for everyone. And here's a look at the timeline for at least the evening and into the next 24 hours as that snow returns. So for the evening, the Devil's Lake Basin through the James River Valley will begin to see the snow showers return, and the wind will be robust as well. That's where you see on the bottom of your screen those blizzard warning do continue. Now, as we go through the overnight hours is when we'll have some snow blowing in around the backside of the low pressure system, and that means we'll have a chance at some snow accumulating a little bit here in the Southern Valley as well. Then throughout your day tomorrow, we'll have bands of snow setting up, and that lasts all the way through the morning and through our day tomorrow. We will have some areas that see more additional accumulations that'll be significant. We're going to go over all of that, but first let's go right to the hour by hour for the evening tonight. Our snow shower chances will be greatest from Devil's Lake right through the Towner County area and Rock Lake. Notice these winds here out of the north and west. So they're going to start grabbing this snow and cold air and curling it back around here into the Southern Valley. So where we've had this big break for the day today, not the case out to the west. And in fact, the snow has been continuing in and around Minot. That's going to slowly slide eastward in the 7 o'clock hour. So we're going to have that combination of gusty wind and snow working its way back into the James River Valley again this evening. Now, as we go into the late evening hours and head toward the 10 o'clock, we'll have some periods of flurries or light snow dashing across the Southern Valley. But again, we're still mainly dry as the blizzard conditions continue out to the west. It's overnight. Watch here as the moisture wraps around the bottom of the system, and it will bring a chance of some of our first flakes in southeast North Dakota from the Missouri River Valley through Lakes Country where things set up. This is where things get a little bit interesting as we go into your day tomorrow. We'll start out in the morning with the snow showers kind of wrapping around this area or drier shot of air that worked its way in. The orange and red colors are where we will see the gustiest chance of winds over 45 miles per hour. So we could have an expansion of blizzard-like conditions wherever we get these bands of snow setting up once the northwest winds come in. So a block of snow will move through eastern North Dakota, batches of snow in western Minnesota. Not all of us will see snow. This all kind of makes its way through, and then the northwest winds take over and continue 40 to 45 miles per hour as we go through your lunch day. And take a look at these little narrow bands of snow. Wherever they set up, and our models kind of try to estimate where the best chance of them setting up is. Look at this. We're going to have these bands of snow swirling around this low pressure system, gusty northwest winds, and in these bands we'll have reduction of visibility for a brief period of time, with gusts finally decreasing a little bit very late in the day, but treacherous travel conditions, including the possibility for some blowing and drifting snow in the new snow and some of the old snow that's blowing around from our northern and western counties as we go through the day. So heavier bands or heavier snow accumulations will be possible wherever these bands set up. Let's take a look at that right now. First and foremost, as far as this light blue shade is, look at this. Our almost entire viewing area has a chance at seeing an additional, on top of what you got now, 0 to 3 inches, maybe a little bit more, and that's in these bands here. So that's what the asterisk is for. You can get these bands setting up. We could get some 3 to 6 inch totals here, Lakes Country, maybe into northwest Minnesota in places where those narrow bands do set up. The big winners will be an additional 6 to 12 inches, central North Dakota, and 3 to 6 plus inches for some of our viewers in the Devil's Lake Basin. Look what's going on in Manitoba and also northern Lake of the Woods County, these dark blue colors here. 3 to 6, very close to the possibility of some 6 to 12. We'll keep our eyes on that very closely based on how the radar does set up. So again, bands of heavy snow for our neighbors in Grand Forks that are digging out of the better part of a foot of snow. 0 to 3 plus inches over the next 24 hours sounds like a pretty good deal. We'll keep our eyes on that. We'll remind you that we had this high uncertainty area right in here, and that's about how things transpired as we went through the last couple of days. Blizzard conditions out west, drifts 5 to 15 feet, impossible travel. That continues. More rain than snow out here to the south and east of our viewing area, and that trend does continue as well. But we will get snow. Now, this storm system and our first alert weather days do carry you into Friday, so we've gotten you through Thursday. Now, as we go into Friday, the low pressure system will slowly work its way out, and as it does, we'll continue with a northwest wind, and periods of snow last all the way into Friday morning, and then we'll set this into motion here as it continues for some in northern Minnesota throughout your Friday. So there will be additional accumulations into northwest Minnesota, and the snowfall totals, we're not going to change it. 1 to 2 feet, isolated 40 out to the west and north, 8 to 18 plus. Here we've already gotten that, but I don't see a huge amount of additional snowfall there. And then quickly ramping down for Fargo, the 2 to 6 seems to be legitimate. We'll have those narrow bands, though, that will dictate that. Right now, snow out in the west will work its way in. It's heaviest out and around the Minot area, Towner County. So if you're there and points west towards Bottineau, a pretty good band of snow. It's cold, below freezing. Teens in Miles City, Montana, 30s out in Lakes Country. Good visibility for us, but it's down to 0 in western North Dakota. And why? That's because the winds are gusting to nearly 60 miles per hour. So very windy conditions for all of us as we go through the next 24 hours. And let's get right to the 7-day planner as I zip through a couple of graphics. A lot to go over. First alert weather days through Friday, and then we will see temperatures that will be cool for the 7-day period. First alert weather day for your Easter Sunday as well. So we'll keep an eye on that, have more on that in a moment.
It's always a weekend when people are trying to get places, you know?
Exactly. Yep.
All right. Well, thanks for keeping us informed. Thanks, Hutch. Leaders from FEMA hold their annual National Hurricane Conference to discuss the latest in hurricane warnings ahead of the upcoming season and lessons learned from recent storms. Their new study predicts there will be at least 19 named storms and 9 hurricanes, 4 of which they say will be Category 3 or higher. Additionally, the researchers anticipate an above-average probability for major hurricanes making landfall along the U.S. coastline and in the Caribbean. Still to